Hello, good afternoon and welcome. We are live in Shrewsbury at Morris Care in Radbrook for a very special occasion in the sunshine, I'm glad to say. My name's Carl Jones. You might know me talking about movies or entertainment on BBC Radio Shropshire. Today I'm here to talk about the opening of the brand new garden suite here. Lots of the residents and people have been seeing it taking shape, and this is the opportunity to find out what it's been all about. Now, because this isn't yet an operational facility, it means thankfully we don't need to be PPE'd from head to toe, but we will of course be adopting all the COVID restrictions and making sure that all of our interviews this afternoon are suitably social distanced. We've got lots of things to show you over the next 30, 40, 50 minutes or so, hopefully some tea and cake in there as well, and we'll be meeting some of the characters who've been responsible for making this thing all possible. So come with me, join me on a special VIP tour of this brand new garden suite, and you'll be the very first people to take a look inside. Let's go and have a look. And here we are inside the new lounge of the garden suite, the bottom floor. There are two floors, of course, and I'm delighted to say that I am joined by a director of Morris & Company, Chris Morris. Welcome, good afternoon, sir. Is it quite nice to be able to actually see the fruits of what's been going on over the last few months?
There's been a lot of work here recently, so fabulous to see the end result.
I want to talk to you in a short moment about actually your involvement in this very building many, many years ago. But first of all, just talk a little bit about the history and heritage of it, because it's actually your father that masterminded this whole Radbrook project, wasn't it? How did that all come about?
Very true, that's correct. So about 32, 33 years ago, when the time came for my father to look for a nursing home for his mum, my grandmother, he looked around, and what was available at the time, in his view, wasn't good enough. And you know, it's about family values, which is very much a strong aspect running through our business and our family, and his values at the time. He thought that it wasn't good enough, so that was very much the seed for the idea to do something better and to start our own care business, of which Radbrook Nursing Home was the first of now many.
And you were telling me just before we came on air that actually you remember the building site here,
yes,
didn't you?
No, absolutely. So as a teenager, as an 18-year-old, I was working on the building site of this building, which I can remember very clearly. And you know, as young members of the family, that's very much what we do. We immerse ourselves in the business from a very young age, and that was me immersing myself in this part of the business at that stage. And the sixth generation of the family, who are very much in the wings, they've just spent what was obviously for everyone a very long summer holidays also working in the business. So that's still carrying on through generation to generation. So
you must be particularly thrilled then at the evolution of this site and to be able to see all the investment that's still happening. Yeah, I mean it's changed beyond recognition here, and thrilled to be launching the garden suite today. But it's worth mentioning that the whole home has gone through a program of refurbishment. So the whole place has gone through a lift in quality. But today is very much the launch of the garden suite, which we're thrilled with its wonderful private lounges. We have private lounges on the ground floor and on the first floor also. There's beautiful spa rooms, as well as a new garden which we've created, of which you can see a little bit more later. Unfortunately, it's spacious enough, of course, isn't it, so that we can easily do all these socially distanced interviews with everybody at the moment. It's important, especially at the moment, obviously respecting all of those rules. Just talk then a little bit about, we'll go into more detail when we're looking at some of the rooms later, but some of the innovative ways that, you know, creating a homely environment and a feeling of well-being is being done here. We spent a lot of time looking at how we can create that environment, and for us it's been about establishing a new standard really when it comes to comfort and decoration. But outside of the obvious things of decoration, we've also been looking at innovative ways and investment in technology, whether that's computer tablets for residents to be able to stay in touch with their loved ones and family, which at the moment is especially important. But it's also new software behind the scenes that enable our staff to provide
best care that we possibly can. So we've been here for over 30 years, offering the best care that we can provide, and some of the best care in this area. And we intend to be doing that for many years to come.
And great, of course, that the people in Shrewsbury will get a chance now, once we've had the official opening, to actually see what's been going on here on site for the last few months.
Absolutely, yeah, no, it's been transformational.
Now, I know I've seen you've had your eye on the cake already, but I'm going to trust you with it. Guard the cake for me. We'll come back and have a chat a little bit later on, but I'm now going to go off, have a bit of a look round, because I haven't seen all the places yet, and speak to some of the people who have been and will be closely involved in it. So thanks for that, Chris, and I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah,
I'm off to explore. Now, a welcoming environment, of course, doesn't just stop indoors, it involves outdoors as well. And great streaming light, as you can see through the windows of all of these rooms here, is a perfect opportunity for us to go and have a look at what's been happening in the garden. And Morris Care have enlisted a very special guest to help out with planning the garden, Margaret Thrower no less. Very famous name, of course, in Shropshire, and she's been helping give some advice about planting schemes and all the practical side of what you need to do to create a garden which is perfect for the surroundings and the guests that we've got here. Morris Care's business support manager Philippa Basin caught up with her outside to find out a bit more.
Well, hello Margaret, thank you very much for coming back to see us today. Last time we met in this garden it was a blank canvas, and all I can say, it was an absolute bomb site.
I didn't want to be rude, yes it was a complete bomb site, and I couldn't visualise what you were actually going to do, and you got it all down on paper, and your plans and your ideas, and I'm not good at looking at a piece of paper with a plan on and then actually seeing the finished thing. You've absolutely achieved what you wanted to do, and it really has worked out well. It's lovely, and it's so lovely to come back on a nice sunny day like today.
It does make the difference, I know. What we were trying to achieve is somewhere safe, a special haven, I suppose, for our residents to come and sit on their own or with their family. Some different features, points of interest. I mean, we've got a beautiful water feature here.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is that solar panel?
No, it isn't.
It's not.
It's mains electric.
Electric, yeah.
Yes. So the gardener just needs to top it up every now and again.
Yeah. But there's something, you know, I love my garden and I spend so much time in it, and without that tranquility and the peace of a garden, I think I'd go absolutely do more
I'm
to
sure
the valley
you would.
And to have somewhere like this is just lovely. It's a young garden at the moment. It's going to grow. But it's going to be a lovely, as you say, a lovely peaceful haven. And just to hear that gentle trickle of water, it's magical, isn't
Soothing,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
yeah.
Water attracts. Now, when we first met, you gave me various ideas and suggestions and recommendations of plants that I should try and source. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get everything.
Well, this is the thing with a garden. You know, you have an idea of plants that you want. If you can't get them, there's always something very similar that you can swap and change. And also with a garden, I don't think a garden should be absolutely permanent, never moved.
No.
A garden evolves and grows, and you might find a plant that doesn't quite suit the position, and don't be afraid to take it out and put another one in. I think you've done marvels, and I just love the colours you've got here as well.
Well, a lot of these plants are what you've chosen. I mean, we've got some beautiful delphiniums.
Oh, I love the blue of delphinium.
So do I.
Yes.
So do
yes.
I. A lot of the plants aren't actually in flower because, as you well know, they're perennials and they're coming to the end of...
But you see, you've got anemone there.
Yes.
I love it, but in my garden, it obviously loves it because it spreads... I call it a thug, but it's that lovely open flower with the yellow stamens in the centre, that gentle pink and white. It's just a lovely soft flower, and it'll give you height at the back with the delphiniums. But you've got another one of my favourites there.
Which is that?
The penstemon.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I love penstemons. Yes. It's a plant that we used to have at the centre many, many years ago. Went out of fashion like a lot of plants do, and now it's the in plant.
Oh, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. We've got something that's in.
And Another favourite of mine are the heucheras. And you've got the heucheras down at the front here and along the front. They give that bronzy leaf. I mean, there are so many different varieties, but these and they're the right colour with the wood frames. You've got these raised beds, and they're just right, and they'll fill out and just come down the side just to mask the edge a bit. Lovely.
Margaret, one of your other suggestions was creating a herb garden, which hopefully you can see in the corner behind me.
I mean, I love herbs. I don't cook, I'm not a cook, but I love the perfume of herbs, and there's so many different ones that are going to give you different colour and different structure. You've got a lovely specimen bay tree, the lollipop with the dome on the top, and that just needs regular clipping to keep that dome, and the clippings can go into the kitchen. Not that I would know what you do with them.
Yes.
And then you've got a sage there. Now, it's not the regular culinary grey sage that people most probably would recognise. It's got a lovely purple touch to its leaves, and in the spring it'll also have lovely lilac-y blue flowers. So you've got colour and structure there, and then along the front you've got thyme. And I just when I go into a garden, I sort of discreetly just rub my fingers along plants, and the smell of thyme, I just love it. And you've got chives there, and of course chives are going to give you not only that oniony flavour to your cooking, but you're going to have the flowers in the spring.
Beautiful purple head.
Beautiful purpley pink flat spikes of flowers.
Yes.
So no, it's useful. I think every garden should have a herb section. Even if you're not going to use them in the kitchen, they are an attractive plant that adds to a garden.
The idea of the raised beds is that we have, the height of them are wheelchair friendly. Again, with our paths, residents can come, walk around the garden on their own, and if they fancy doing a little bit of gardening, they can sit there on their wheelchair and...
Well done. That's something that I think when people are planning gardens, wheelchairs or not, I always like to do quite wide paths so you have got access to each corner, because from a distance you don't always see it. If you can get close up, you can see it, and you can smell it too.
Yes, these do actually accommodate, the large electric wheelchairs.
Oh, well done.
So hopefully this garden has been designed with everybody in mind. And on the back fence here, we've got some evergreen honeysuckle. That again, hopefully you will get the beautiful smells from that as you pass.
As I said, it's a young garden at the moment, and it's surprising how, give it a year and it will look completely different.
Yes.
I've just caught my eye on another plant there that I love, Brunaria, Jack Frost.
That was one of your suggestions?
Yes, I love it. It does die down in the winter, but then it comes back in the spring. It's got that lovely veiny grey sort of mottling to the leaf. And those penstemons behind it as well.
Yes, they are.
Lovely. And more delphiniums up there. And I noticed you've got one or two roses as well.
Yes, we have. Yes, the central point of those borders.
Yeah, because roses are going to give you the colour during the summer months, and it's also going to give you the perfume. And this is going to be a garden that people are going to come out and enjoy, but let's be realistic. It is on nice sunny days that it's going to be used. But from the windows, when you look down, you've got enough evergreen in the garden to give you colour throughout the year. I've become a great fan of grasses, and I love this grey one, and that'll give you colour. And the little box, the topiary box, again gives you a sort of character and structure to a bed, but it'll be there in the winter, because some of these things will die down in the winter. But you're going to, and you've got hebes over there.
Yes,
I see.
we have. We've got a couple of different varieties. Again, different colour flowers. Evergreen as well, they are.
And on the end there, you've got choicea, the golden choicea. Again, it's surprising, even in February, when the sun is very weak, but that golden choicea will just come to life with the light. It'll just look fantastic. So all your residents will be able to look down, and there'll be something to see even in the winter. And I hope you're going to think about underplanting it with spring bulbs.
They've already been done.
Wow, well done.
Yes,
well done.
Well, I hope you will come back in the spring.
I'd love to.
And see how it has improved, and hopefully it will have started to fill out by then, and
it will
be completely different again, a different season.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly plants get established. And I mean, you've got hanging baskets, which we haven't mentioned. I love pansies. Oh, the
Yes.
face of them are just so welcoming. And again, the Acer there.
Yes.
That's going to grow and give you structure. That's the purple-leafed palmatum. But it's just going to fill that corner in and give you, again,
A different
structure and
structure.
height.
Yes. Thank you ever so much, Margaret, for coming back. I really do appreciate all the advice that you have given me, recommendations of the plants, which hopefully you can see we have taken note of.
Yes, lovely.
All I can do is I hope you will come back.
I will
Spring,
be very,
summer.
very upset if you don't invite me back sometime next year, because the plants are going to grow and develop and fill out. So I want to see it. You know, this is the early stages. I want to see it when it's more mature. So
Good.
please,
Good.
I
We'd
want
be
an invitation.
delighted. We would be delighted. And then hopefully, yes, we will have a lounger and you can have a Pimm's. Well, we have a little gift for you, if I may. Thank you. This is just to say thank you very much
that's very
for
kind
joining
of
me
you.
today.
Oh, thank you. I know what that is.
Do you?
Yeah, and I've broken mine. The handle's come off.
Oh.
And can I just...
Of course you may.
Lovely. Thank you so much. That is lovely. Thank you.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
And Margaret, we will be giving a donation to the charity of your choice for coming and spending
Thank you.
time
Well,
with
you know,
us.
I'm a Rotarian, so through the Rotary, and they have various charities. So thank you very much
No, thank
indeed.
you very much.
You.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you again.
Thanks very much to Philippa and to Margaret Thrower for that fantastic look at what it's taken to put the garden together outside. Chris and I have moved indoors in the beautiful Shrewsbury sunshine. We are, of course, live here this afternoon from Morris Care in Radbrook, taking a look at the new garden suite, a VIP look before any of the residents move in. You are very privileged, and thank you for joining us. Chris, I mean, you can almost imagine, can't you, in the beautiful sunshine here, just opening the door out from a room like this onto the patio.
Yeah, I mean, these rooms with the garden view are fantastic. As you say, the garden very much features here, and we've tried to emphasise that with the garden themed curtains, so we're really bringing the outdoors in.
I'm feeling exotic. I'm feeling in holiday mood here. This is excellent. Let's have a little guided tour around some of the facilities here, because this is a typical room. They've all got their own personality, of course.
Yeah.
But where was the starting point? What was the priorities here when it came to looking at what you put into the room? What were you?
So again, as I was saying earlier, it's very much about setting a new standard, and each of the 10 new rooms that we've got in the garden suite are of a similar calibre, slightly different personalities in each. Every room, as you would expect, has its own ensuite, which is done to a level that I think you'd expect more at your home really than in a nursing home. It really is top quality. And in terms of things like the beds, obviously very important part of the room. We've gone for state-of-the-art beds that actually adjust, and I can actually show you.
You're up for a demo?
Yeah,
Are you feeling brave?
And they do actually adjust
Excellent.
to suit each individual's shape. So, for example, as you can see,
so there's all sorts of ergonomics,
in lots of different directions is possible for the comfort of the residents. And even small things, again, it's attention to detail. Things like having the plugs at a height that's easy for residents to use rather than having to bend down. Again, it's the small things. And then again, it's looking at the detail from bespoke furniture all throughout to diffused lighting, soft headboards and elegant lighting. Just looking more at the detail of the rooms and the calibre, which really is, and I hope you agree, is a real step up from what you'd expect in a nursing home.
Well, and that's the thing, is that these sort of things, they don't just come together, do they? A whole lot of thought goes in to putting all of this together, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, we've had a fantastic team looking very closely at the resident experience, and we've really been trying to create a home from home feel as much as we can.
I have to say, I'm impressed with the number of plug sockets you've got in here. It's the first thing, my father-in-law always has this thing saying, not enough plug sockets in the house. Well, you can't complain. You've got
we should have enough here.
USBs, you've got call buttons, you've got everything, to plug in your phones in and the full lot. So it's looking absolutely terrific, isn't it? So I bet you just can't wait for people to come in and see.
Yeah, no, we're really excited to share it with people, and we just really want to share it with some new residents, of course.
Excellent. We'll come back to you again very shortly. But to tell us a little bit more about how the interiors were created, Katie Morris is waiting for us somewhere upstairs, I think, with some mood boards and lots more interesting information about the background and the whole story to how the whole project was put together. So Katie, are you receiving us?
So here I am, and I'm with Heidi, and we are looking at the very first mood board we did.
We are. It seems like such a long time ago now, Katie.
I know, it does, doesn't it?
But it's been such a delight.
I think some of these colours that we originally said, let's do earth colours because it's a garden suite, they've really translated well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've really brought the outdoors in and are showing the building and all the rooms to their best.
Yes.
Beautiful environment with the doors opening downstairs onto the garden. It's really quite enchanting down there.
It is, isn't it?
It is, it is.
And I love it up here because on this floor there's a real sense of airiness because you're raised.
Bright, light,
Absolutely.
uplifting. And the colours we've used are soft, earthy colours. Lots of greens. Obviously, we've put the wallpaper in the back of the beautiful unit that your joiner's built, which is gorgeous. Just shows the sort of undulating sceneries which you have either on the Welsh countryside or the beautiful Shropshire countryside locally.
Of course, I do. And I love the use of textures throughout the building. You know, it has a lovely luxury feel, but it's still comfy and cosy for residents. And of course, as soon as we can welcome families back, they're going to love sitting here having coffee. And
absolutely. I mean, obviously, in the meantime, they're going to have to enjoy the beautiful gardens that you've got out there, which is gorgeous. But textures and the choice of fabrics are very, very important. Not just for those suffering with dementia, which I know you're going to be able to accommodate here, but also for the visitors. It just really gives it depth and a bit more feeling and a feeling of luxury.
yes, it does. And because it's a private lounge, just for these 5 rooms here, it just feels special, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. I mean, the furniture, we've got all the accessories, curtains, pelmets, absolutely delightful. It's uplifting, it's welcoming, and the furniture that's been incorporated is very comfortable for families and visitors of residents here. I think anybody would be absolutely delighted to be here.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for us to be able to welcome some new residents very soon. But thank you for all your help.
No, it's been an absolute joy, and it's lovely to work in an environment where you can see that yourselves have really wanted to make it the best space for your residents and their families and visitors.
Absolutely. And of course, while luxury surroundings are amazing, we all know it's really about the care.
Oh, absolutely.
And on that note, I'm going to hand back to Carl, I think.
Thanks very much for that, Katie. Well, we'll move now from the design to actually some of the more practical elements and the staffing of the centre. I'm delighted to be joined by Santosh George, the manager here. Santosh, tell me a little bit about, before we start talking about specifically the job that you do here, your background, some of your experiences, your expertise.
Right, okay. Basically, I'm a qualified nurse. I came over from India over here 10 years ago, and I qualified from City University, London, and I started working at a care home. I've been working as a deputy manager clinical lead for the last 5 years before I moved to Shropshire. Then the best thing happened in my life, I would say I joined Morris Care.
So what is it specifically about this company then? Because obviously, you know, no two places are the same, are they? So what are the elements here that you really appreciate and enjoy and recognise?
Well, having worked in different care sectors, concerning that, I would say Morris Care, in terms of quality of care they provide and in terms of staff support, they are very unique. They are excellent in providing quality care to the residents and building up a team of qualified staff. As the slogan says, a standard as excellence, Morris always stick on to that. Every single day they take an extra measure to improve the quality of care they provide to the residents here. The care they provide, it's it's not a standardized care across all residents or all the homes, but the care they provide is very much person-centered, individualized care. So assessing each resident's needs, and they formulate the care according to that. That's why I believe Morris Care is one of the standout in the care industry.
And how much do the individual needs vary then, and how do you go about assessing what a resident specifically will need when they first get here then?
The individual needs vary from persons to person. You know, some got minimal needs, but some has got complex needs. So before a resident moves into a nursing home, we do assess their care needs and formulate their plans, and we assess whether we got the staffing or the infrastructure to meet the resident needs. And once they move in, we provide the care according to their needs. And we got other multidisciplinary team members involved, such as doctors, SALT team, or physios. They're all involved in it to make our care more comprehensive.
Is it possible to describe what a typical day in your life might be, or a typical week?
Well, it is hard to say because no 2 days the same. It varies from each day. Well, as we begin with, we have the handover. We just inform any changes to all our team members, and as a person and as a home manager, I just go around and meet all the residents and staff just to make sure everything going as smooth as possible.
Because they're a happy group here, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
It's at the end of the day, it's all about making these facilities feel like home to people, isn't it?
Absolutely, that is the core element of our care at Morris Care. Anybody moving to here, it could be my dad or my mom, they should feel as if their own home. And we put the infrastructure such a way that they get the constant care they need, the love and support, kindness, and the family attachment and the communication going on. So we aim to make them feel it's their own home.
And I bet you can't wait to show off all these new facilities when they open to the public, so they can see what's been going on here.
Sorry, absolutely. We're very much excited and looking forward to see the new unit open, so that we can get more residents come into our home and enjoy the rest of their life.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like you're a busy man, so I'm going to leave you to your daily duties. Thank you, Santosh, so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, as Santosh was saying, there's a real team spirit here at Morris Care, and of course that's built by the fact that there's such a continuity of staff, lots of long-serving members of staff, and I'm delighted to be joined by one of them now, Julie Dodd. Now, Julie,
Hello.
How many years have you been here for?
I've been here at Radbrook 29 and a half years, nearly 30 years.
Blimey, I bet you've seen some changes in that time, haven't you?
Definitely. When I first started with Morris Care back in 1991, there was lots of changes and
innovations, I
yeah,
imagine,
definitely,
as well.
like the garden suite.
And of course,
one.
I see you clutching your COVID
Yes,
mask
we
as
have
well.
our PPE.
We've come to the non-operational side of the building
Yes.
today, and social distancing interviews. It all feels a bit strange, but I guess
It is.
that's one of the things that it's just become part of life.
It's just part.
Really?
It's part of normal life now, every day.
What's the most? Are you able to say what you think the most rewarding thing of the job is? Because there's obviously real quality. You wouldn't have been here for 29 years otherwise.
It's being with the residents. It's looking after the residents on a daily basis. It's really rewarding. No 2 days are ever the same, whatever the task, big or small. Our residents are the most important. And working with the team environment, we've got great staff, great team spirit.
And I imagine then, as one of the, I'm being polite, one of the more senior members of the team in terms of the time you've been here, do you then also get involved in helping to train or mentor or bring through the next generation here then?
Most definitely, yes, I'm a mentor, which means I help to train new members of staff. They follow a training programme, and then I can help them to achieve their care certificate. And also I deliver fire safety training, and that's for all staff, for new staff and for old members. They have refresher training as well.
Because I imagine it's not just about training before you get here, it's training on the job while you're doing the job, isn't it?
Training is ongoing.
So given that you are a veteran, what is it that's kept you here, do you think? Can you put your finger on it?
The residents, being with the residents, supporting the residents on a day-to-day basis, being with the staff, your work colleagues. There's a great team environment, and they're not just your work colleagues, they're your friends as well. And also having the support from Morris Care.
And you know, you've obviously been working next door while all of this has been going on.
I have, yes,
so
I've been on shift.
You've been watching and having a little look at this
Yes.
thing start to take shape, isn't it?
It is, it's beautiful. This is amazing, absolutely beautiful.
And as we said, saying to Chris earlier, I guess one of the big moments that'll put smiles on everybody's faces is when you get an opportunity for the first people to come in here and
Yes, it
and
will
see
be
for
amazing.
themselves.
It's going to be really special.
Brilliant. Well, I better let you mask up and get
Lovely.
back. I bet
Thank
you've
you
got some
very
important
much.
duties to do this
Yes, I
afternoon.
have.
You?
Thank you,
What have you
Carl.
got to do this afternoon?
Well, I've just got to see to the residents and attend to their personal care, answer the call bells.
Julie,
support
I
them.
can hear call bells going off. So
Yes, all
thank
the
you
time.
for your time.
You're very welcome.
I will
and
leave you
thank
to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We're live here at Morris Care in Radbrook in Shrewsbury for the launch of the new garden suite. I'd like to introduce now another long-serving member of the team, Pat Hodnitz, on her way in. Come on in, Pat. Come and have a seat, make yourself at home.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Don't be afraid of the microphone.
No.
It's the COVID era. I guess you can safely unmask now, can't you? Now
Yes,
you're not
I
in
will, thank you.
the operational side.
Yeah.
That's it. Excellent. Now, a little birdie told me before we
Yeah.
came on air that you've been here, what, 25 years that you've been here?
That's correct.
But a little
yes.
birdie told me that you were only planning to stay here for a fortnight.
No, yeah.
Tell me the story.
Well, I came and I thought, I think I'll only be here for 2 weeks. 25 years later, I'm still here.
So why?
Because there's such a very close, kind, friendly staff here, supportive staff at Radbrook.
And is it? I can sense from we're just talking to Julie earlier.
Yes.
There's obviously a real team community feel, not just
There
with the
is.
residents but the staff as well. Then, isn't
Yeah.
it? So-
Yeah, there's very good team here. We're all friend inside work and outside work. We get on very well. We help each other and in good and bad times. Yeah.
Work hard, play hard. Is
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
That's something.
yeah.
What do you think of the new suite? Is
It's
this the-
lovely, isn't it? The garden's lovely, and it'd be nice for the residents to sit out there and relax. And this is a lovely area to sit and for residents to sit and read and relax their day.
You can see with the way the sun's outside, can't
Yes,
you? What
yeah.
a sun trap we've got in the garden, and
Yeah.
the sun coming into the rooms.
And
It's
the rooms are very comfortable and homely for them. Yeah.
nice and bright and airy.
Yes.
Tell me some of the stories, because I imagine one of the great things from your point of view is some of the banter, the interaction that you have with some of the residents. isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Are they cheeky? How does it work?
I remember one time I was in a gentleman's room helping with his care, and we were chatting about his life, my life, a bit about my family, his family, and a nurse came in with his medication, give him his medication, and he says, when she went out, he says, you know what, he says, your little chat is more beneficial to me than all the medication. It means more to me that we've chatted.
Interaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually being
Being
they are the centre of your attention for the
They
time
are.
that you're with them, aren't
Yes,
they?
yes.
Brilliant. Well, much as I said to Julie, I don't want to be responsible for holding you up. I'm sure
No.
you've got some important duties to do.
Yes.
Pat, thank you very much.
That's a pleasure.
And I'll leave you to it. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Now, one of the most important things here at Morris Care is also the social side. We've talked very much about the well-being and the atmosphere here, but the social side of things as well is hugely important. And I went out into the garden a little bit earlier and spoke to two of the members of staff who are responsible for putting the entertainment and the enrichment programme together. So let's see my chat with Sue Tootle and Sarah May. Right then, well, I've come over to the other side of the garden now. I'm here with the entertainment ladies, they call themselves, Sue and Sarah. Thanks for your time. Entertainment ladies, that sounds like quite a fun job. Sarah, tell me a bit about it. How does it work? What do you do?
Well, there's never a dull moment at Radbrook. We do a lot of activities, ranging from going out on the minibus to trips to the community centre. Once a month we go over, they put an afternoon tea on for us. We have the nursery children come, we have a lot of singers, we have choirs coming in, And also we just do some very basic games like play your cards right.
Higher, lower, all of that stuff. Yeah,
all
good,
that.
excellent.
That's it,
Yeah,
they like all that.
nothing for a pair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like all that.
We do exercises, classes as well, so movement to music. We do indoor golf and all lots of sort of things like that, sort of to keep fit, because it's quite important for us all to keep, the residents to keep fit.
Yeah. Who decides then on the programme? Because I guess putting one big programme together, not everyone's going to take part in everything, and people can opt in or opt out of as much as they want.
Well, we do the programme on a monthly basis, and we obviously, certain times of the year, we have different things on Easter, Christmas, St Patrick's Day, and we try and bear in mind the residents' hobbies. So we get to know our residents very well. So we know what sort of things makes them tick, what things they're interested in, hobbies they've had before they came into the home. So we try and incorporate that into a monthly programme of lots of different things every day, and then people can opt in and opt out of what they would like to do.
Have you? What's the strangest suggestion then you've possibly had anyone ask for in the time?
Alpacas coming in.
Someone asked us if we could have some alpacas, and we usually say more or less we can do whatever you want. So we've had the alpacas in, we've had sheep in where we fed the sheep with the bottles.
We've had horses in.
Yeah, the pony.
We have a dog every week come in, a therapy dog come in.
Fantastic. And there's something about animals. I know I took our dog into a residential home one time, and the reaction from people, particularly maybe kept animals and covered. You can't bring your pets with you, can you?
Pets. Yeah, we have the cats coming as well from the Cat Protection League. The residents love having the cats on their lap, that sort of thing.
And the children, they love to see the children come in. We've got 2 local nurseries that come in, so it's it's good. It's good community spirit here.
So let me go back to the first thing you said to me almost then, Sarah. Minibus trips. Who drives a minibus and where'd you go?
Well, we have been to the theatre. I've driven down to the theatre.
Well, you're the driver,
I am the driver.
Yeah.
You're the navigator, yes. Yeah, the parking's a bit tricky sometimes, but yes, we go out on the minibus. We've been to the ironworks at Iron Bridge. We've been...
Garden centre,
that's where they like to go. That's where the most popular. Christmas shopping, they like to go.
Picnics, we go to the quarry as well for a picnic.
Yes, we've been to a few places. So.
Well, of course, the garden centre is going to be quite popular now because you're going to have to stock the garden. The garden's looking great already, isn't it? But I imagine you've got your eye on this particular area for all sorts of activities, haven't you?
Absolutely. Well, we've got some very keen gardeners here. The residents are very keen. So we have a little gardening club. So they love to come out, and they will certainly be tending this garden.
Now, I see. Just looking at the list, I was having a quick look before we came to chat to you at some of the list of things that you do. You mentioned flower arranging already. Poetry in the garden, I see as well, and some of the more the sort of slower pace of life, chess, things like that. Have you got some quite some gaming addicts? Have you got trivia addicts?
We have,
like
we get very competitive here.
Yes,
especially our quizzes. But yes, we love the poetry, and we've had some residents who actually made up their own poems. I mean, we had one lady who made a poem about one of the carers, and they like to read the poetry out to us as well. And we've got one lady, she's 101, and she can read out several poems just off the top of her head. Brilliant. So it's lovely, along with a sherry as well.
Oh yes,
that's for them presumably rather than you. Is it? So yeah. I can tell from chatting to you just how much you love doing it. You must get a great thrill out of actually coming up with something that and see the glint in the eye of the residents when you
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day is different, and the residents, they're so appreciative as well of what we do. And it's not very often you have a job where at the end of the activity they all give you a round of applause, and it's wonderful. It's lovely, and we meet such lovely people here as well. It's great.
Are there any particular, this one may get cut out of the end edit, I don't know, but any particular sort of highlights, lowlights, things that have happened, things that jump out of your mind, amazing things, or?
We had a virtual cruise trip, and that was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? The residents got dressed up, and they got up and danced, and seeing some residents get up and dance, fantastic. Absolutely wonderful.
Yes, they love the music. We have a lot of singers here too, and they do. We've got a couple of ladies that like to just get up and dance because that's what they did. They were in dance classes, and so we try and adapt to everybody, as big or as small as it is.
So there is literally something going on every day of the week, and every day of the week would be different to the day before. Is that
yes,
it's
right? all different. Yes, lots of different things, and not just sort of singers every day, but just games, just something going on.
That's right. Sometimes the simple things, sometimes the nicest things.
Trip to the shops. Sometimes we just say, "Do you fancy going to the shops?" And we're lucky we've got Radbrook shops just up the road, so we'll get ready and off we'll go and just do a little bit of shopping. Residents love that sort of thing.
I sense there's a real team spirit here as well. Is that, you know, that everyone's happy to sort of muck in and
everybody gets involved, and often we'll do lots of sort of like we sort of have national days, so we might have National Cupcake Day. Well, the chef will come up and we'll bake cakes and he'll get involved, and it's really great, isn't it?
It is. It's a lovely place here.
And people are going to be spoilt with the great outdoors, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Now, I noticed before we came outside, and I can sort of see why it's there now, after an exhausting day of activities, why they need the spa facilities and the wellbeing room, and there's all sorts of amazing.
Absolutely, it's absolutely wonderful. Everyone's going to be queuing up for that, I think, aren't
Yes.
they? Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, staff and residents alike by the sound of it, I would think. Well, I'd better leave you to go back and carry on planning the next programme then, hadn't I, Sarah and Sue? Thank you so much for talking to me. Let's find out a little bit more now about the spa and the wellbeing facilities, and hand back to Katie.
Something we all look forward to is a relaxing bath time, and it really is a highlight in the new garden suite spa and wellbeing room. The first thing that impresses on walking in here is that it is such a light, bright, spacious area, bags of room and light. Love the attractive tiling, soft textured waves of creamy tiles, and especially this pretty detailed tiling band around the centre of the wall. It just adds a nice decorative and rather stylish touch. The wet room area of the spa has a power shower, and it's set against a contrasting backdrop, so it's really clearly visible. Plenty of room around the area for the chair to sit nicely underneath, so time to enjoy a refreshing shower. But the centrepiece is this fabulous Sense bath and shower, with its digital non-touch controls that regulate the flow and the temperature. It has a seat which can be raised, rotated and lowered, so the resident can safely sit inside before being gently lowered back into the warm water. So it's super comfortable and really easy to use. And once you have a lovely warm bubbly bath drawn, there's a TV screen at raised eye level for the bather to enjoy at the touch of the remote. We also have some other lovely sensory features like music which can be played, and even a choice of mood lighting which residents can select from. And then of course you wrap it all up with a soft cuddly towel to complete that wonderful feel-good experience.
Thanks very much, Katie, and thank you for joining us here live in Shrewsbury this afternoon for this very special VIP launch of the new garden suite in Radbrook with Morris Care Director here, Chris Morris. Chris, that spa looks quite tasty, doesn't it? No, I quite like it. That's what you call
definitely
relaxation,
appealing.
isn't it? So now we're moving on to our specialist subject, certainly my specialist subject now, food.
Yeah.
I mean, this is looking quite spectacular here. But food, obviously, you know, for all residents, their tastes might vary dramatically, but it's a crucial part of their day, isn't it? And,
well, I mean, food is such an important part of life for all of us, isn't it? But and so we want our residents to expect enticing and quality food from us, and they should. So our kitchens and our chefs produce nutritionally balanced dishes which are often tailored to individuals' specific needs and tastes, because everybody has different tastes and requirements. And in some of our homes, we even use fresh produce from the garden grown by our residents.
Well, because we saw earlier, didn't we, that that's obviously one of the reasons specifically that Margaret has helped to create something, you know, the herb section outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where hopefully that will be happening, you know, very soon.
Yeah, the new herb garden will hopefully be helping to assist and enhance the flavours coming out of the kitchen soon. If
the sun keeps shining like this, it won't be too long.
It shouldn't be, no.
Now, I picked up some of these menu cards that I was just looking at earlier. Here's some that I prepared earlier, that I picked up earlier. I think this is fantastic, this idea that, I mean, one of these I see that's on pretty much every table, mealtime, where it just invites you to just say, look, in a very relaxed way, what did you think of your meal? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was fantastic, adequate? Any, you know, constructive comments? So, you know, things here, this one says, yeah, enjoyed it all, thank you very much, everything was cooked lovely, sausage was lovely, and so was the apple sponge and custard. I'm not surprised.
No, it's important that we do get feedback, and we have to constantly benchmark ourselves. So yes, this is one of the many ways in which we get feedback from residents.
And this one's an example here, really, because I guess, you know, your chefs would find this really useful. There's a big tick in the smiley face saying, yeah, I enjoyed it all, thank you very much, love my sausage and mash, but I do like a variety of fish options, it says as well. Well, that's quite useful information to be able to be fed back into your kitchens, isn't it?
And in future meal plannings, absolutely, it all helps. All helps us provide what the residents are looking for.
Now, I know that there are some residents in other Morris Care sites, Wellington, Audlem in Cheshire, Bridgnorth, who are all watching today, hopefully having a slice of cake and a cup of tea with us at the same time. So good afternoon, everyone, if you are watching. Hope you're enjoying our live broadcast here from Morris Care in Radbrook. Now, we can't have an official opening of this garden suite without an official ribbon cutting ceremony, can we, Chris?
Absolutely.
We're all set up for the grand finale. Before you do that, though, just give us a few closing words, sum it all up for us.
Yes, obviously, with all other works that have gone on, we have to very importantly thank a number of people along the way who've been fantastic throughout, and it's inevitable that when you are doing some work, and the type of levels of work that we've been doing, that there is some kind of disturbance and noise. And even though we've worked as conscientiously and as quietly as we can, and even using our own building team to minimise any disruption as much as possible, we do accept that there have been some. So the first of three big thank yous goes to our residents, who obviously have been bearing with us throughout all of the works. Also our neighbours, very important. It's a close community here, and they've been very patient with us throughout, and we're looking forward to, once restrictions are lifted, to inviting them in for some tea and cake and to see the finished article of what we've achieved here. And last but not least, the most important group, which really is the amazing, fabulous team that we do have here working in Radbrook Nursing Home, who have worked constantly and conscientiously throughout, and you know what, they've done it without even so much as a grumble. So a huge heartfelt thank you certainly from me and my family for their patience and forbearance throughout. They've been absolutely wonderful. So I'm really thrilled, and I have some implements here ready.
Your moment's come. There's your camera, sir. There's your close-up.
So I'm absolutely thrilled and very proud to be opening the garden suite here at Radbrook Nursing Home, and we just can't wait to share it with some residents.
One take, sir, smoothly, almost as if you've done that before. Thank you very much. Well, folks, that's pretty much it for our special VIP launch. As I said, with our socially distanced interviews. Very fortunately, as we said earlier, because it's not an active unit at the moment, we haven't needed to be PPE'd up, but hopefully very shortly this will be thronging with new residents. If this has whetted your appetite, there's lots more information on the Morris Care website. And if you'd like to have another look at the video, if you missed any part of our broadcast today, you'll be able to see a repeat of this once again in exactly this place from tomorrow onwards. From everybody at Morris Care, everybody who's been involved in the production, both in front of and behind the cameras, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm now off to have a piece of cake. Thank you very much, and goodbye.